Thanks.
To that point about how this all fares out, I had a chance to talk to House Minority Whip Steny Hoyer on this, and he does, in fact, say that this is deficit busting, going nowhere. Listen. Are you confident, or do you see the possibility that some Democrats can vote for these tax cuts?
Not now, Neil. They estimate the cost at $6 trillion. And frankly, the White House is talking about over 10 years, and the White House, and that's $600 billion a year. And essentially what they're saying is it doesn't have to be paid for.
All right, now to Republican Senator Barrasso in the middle of all of this, the Senate Republican Policy Committee Chair, so he's a very, very important person there to sort of navigate all of this. Senator, you might have heard what those prior guests were saying, what Steny Hoyer was intimating here. You know, it's a deficit buster going nowhere. I found that a little rich coming from Democrats here, but there's been a lot of spending and piling up of debt under multiple administrations of all stripes. But what do you make of that this is going to be a tough sell to members within your own party?
Well, we are all for tax reform, and when I think of tax reform, I think of lower rates and a simpler process. That's what the American people want. We want to get the economy moving. Growth does a lot. I want to see the details. We don't have that yet, but the best news I had was in Wyoming a week or so ago. I was standing in line beside somebody checking out at the store, and a buddy came in and said to him, "Hey, how are things going?" He said, "Great. People are hiring. That's what we need. We need to stimulate the economy, get people working, and tax reform is the way to do it, to incentivize people to make investments, to get people back to work, and to have people keep more of their hard-earned money that then they can decide what to save, what to spend, what to invest."
Well, let me ask you, though, Senator,
to
the Democratic point that there might not be the Republican votes there, that even though you guys control the Senate and the House, albeit in the Senate by the tenderest of margins, it would be tough for some of your members who argue it's got to be revenue neutral right from the get-go. Could that be a problem?
Well, for some it may be. What we need to do is actually see the legislation, see what's writing, get a score on this, and then we'll all make our own decision. But you have a united group of us who want tax reform, want to do all we can to stimulate the economy.
You've got a 52-48 margin in the Senate there. You can't afford for more than a couple to peel off here, right? Do you think that you've got the numbers? Now, I know, and you're quite right, Senator, remind me, we don't even know what we're dealing with here, but the broad parameters of a big tax cut that might, as things stand now, be not revenue neutral, at least in the near term. And do you think all your members would be in agreement to deal with that, swallow that, and move on?
Well, in the Senate, there'd be an open amendment process. People will bring amendments to the floor to try to improve it, to strengthen it in ways that help stimulate the economy, stimulate investment, getting people back to work, higher paychecks, all of those things to help the economy. The way you get more tax revenue in is you have more people working, not by higher rates. So I like what the president is promoting, lower tax rates all across the board, a fewer number, only 3 different tax brackets, continuing to preserve some of the deductions that are so important for charity and for real estate, eliminating the death tax. I mean, these are things that are very popular, and I think they're things that are going to encourage more investment in the economy.
All right, Senator, thank you very much for taking the time. We'll see how this goes. Still early, as you say, in that process.